It was July 16th, 2002, and I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. I was doing a lot of work in Washington, D.C. at that time. I realized that I had a cough, and that was my first clue that, wow, this is, maybe I have pneumonia, maybe I have a cold, something isn't right here. And then I noticed a bump on my neck. And then when I finally went to my doctor, and he felt it was serious enough to start ordering tests, I, probably like every other cancer patient, went home to Google. Then I put in coughing, lump on neck, and Hodgkin's was one of the things that came up. And so I knew it was probably TB, tuberculosis, or Hodgkin's. And I started doing the weird calculus of, okay, TB's pretty bad, cancer will kill me, I really hope I have tuberculosis, which is something you don't say very often. Well, it's one thing to know it's coming, and it's another thing to have your doctor say, you know, you have Hodgkin's. And I was trying to be really calm for my husband because it just felt like he shouldn't be 33 years old, dying of cancer, and him being, you know, a widower. The person I was most worried about telling was my father. And I just remember my dad's face. That was probably one of the worst points, was having to tell your father that you're sick, because I felt like I had let him down. That was one of the lowest moments, was having to tell my dad, sorry, I'm sick. I went through 6 months of chemo, and I had my Hodgkin's in remission for about a year, and then my Hodgkin's came back. Before I decided to have the bone marrow transplant, I was very worried on what the other side would be for me. Bone marrow transplants aren't a walk in the park. And so I really became worried on what would I be, what would my body be, what would my quality of life be after a bone marrow transplant. You know, yes, I might be in remission, but will I have a variety of chronic health problems? Would I die 2 years after a transplant, leave my family in huge debt for medical bills, and not make it? It's pretty heavy stuff. And so something I did think about doing was, okay, the Hodgkin's would probably kill me in 6 months, but I might have 4 months of being healthy. Maybe I should just move to Hawaii and surf. And I was very serious. I love to surf. Shoot, maybe I should just go surfing every day. And I ultimately decided that was pretty stupid. And it just seemed so selfish to not try and be cured, that I literally only entertained the whole not doing it for like a day or two. And then once I picked the path of, yes, I am going to transplant, you can't look back. I've had cancer twice. And, you know, I still operate at a fairly high level. My lungs aren't compromised. I have no chronic health conditions, thank God. And actually, I'm probably in better shape now than I was before the transplant, simply because I'm more conscious about what I eat. I work out a lot, and I consider it a gift. I had a lot left that I wanted to do with my husband. You know, I saw literally a life with him, you know, 50 more years from now, I hope. And I was really determined to have those 50 years. And then the rest of my family, my mother, my father, my stepmom, and my in-laws. You know, you think about each person in your life who's important to you.